order of operations can be expressed in a number of different ways. I'll show you why most of them are correct, but where you might have to just be careful. So our learning intentions are to know the convention, which is how it's normally done, and determining the order of operations. There are only 4 operations. We can add, we can subtract, we can multiply, or we can divide. And anything else that is powers in the brackets just tells us when we need to do these 4 operations. And we have to do them in the right order or we will not get the right answer. And then we have to evaluate these arithmetic expressions involving one or more operations. Again, the operations are these 4 puppies here. Those are the only operations that exist in our lives at this point. So first we deal with brackets. That's the first B. I'm going to write it twice. So brackets are these things. So any operation in brackets, please note that this is not brackets. That's just a way to kind of secure that -2 so that minus sign doesn't get confused. But an operation is something like this where we have 2 plus 3. That's a bracket. The next thing that we don't have to worry about yet is either an I or an O, and that will be an index or an order. So if you had a number to the power of 2, or the square root of a number, oh my gosh, I'm not ready for that. Well, good thing you don't have to worry about that yet. That's what would come next. And then we get this really weird thing. Then we get multiplication and division. So we get BIDMAS, that's division and multiplication, and we get BOMDAS. So why are they in different orders? Because we've got to work from left to right. And this is something that sometimes gets confused. Because whatever, it doesn't matter if division comes first or multiplication comes first, you don't skip around and do division first. You have to work from left to right. So in that case, it doesn't matter. And then addition and subtraction is exactly the same way, going from left to right. And I'll show you this. So we can have brackets that sit inside other brackets, like this example here. So we would always deal with the inner brackets first. So we would do these first, and then we would work with that. So let's look at some practical examples. All right, so we're going to use the order of operations. We have no brackets, we have no orders, but we do have multiplication. So that's going to equal, we're going to recopy the 5 plus whatever 10 divide 2 is, which is 5. So we're going to write our equal signs underneath the other equal signs, and that's 10, because we've done it in the right order. This one, the first thing we're going to do is brackets. So we're going to copy the 18 minus 2 times 6 plus 4 is 10, divide 5. So we've done brackets. We don't have any orders. So now we have to multiply and divide. So I'm going to ignore this minus sign, and I'm going to keep 18 minus what is 2 times 10, because from left to right, multiply comes first. So 2 times 10 is 20. Divide by 5. I should write my equal signs. And again, I'm going to keep 18 there because I'm going to subtract from 18 whatever this is, because this is the next thing I do. I'm still dealing with multiplication and division. 20 divided 5 is 4. And now I can finally do addition and subtraction. 18 minus 4 is 14. There's my answer. Find the answer to these worded problems by writing the sentence using numbers and symbols. So I'm going to double the sum of 4 and 3. Sum is a code word for add. So I'm going to do double 2 times, but it's telling me that I need to do the sum of 4 and 3 separately. So I'm going to put in brackets the 4 and 3, and I can double that. Or you could put the sum of 4 and 3 times 2, doesn't matter. I think this one's the better one. Now the difference. Difference is code word for subtract. Between these two numbers, and it's tripled. And then the quotient, which is code word for divide, of 3 and 7 are subtract. Well, that's obvious. So the difference between 76 and 43. Okay, so we want the difference to be tripled. So whatever that is, that's the first thing we do. We multiply that by 3. And then we want to subtract, there's our minus sign, the quotient. Okay, now watch this, this is going to be crazy. 35 divide 7. Now you're saying to me, Mr. Brisson, why don't you put that in brackets to make life easier? Well, I can, but do I need to? Because I know from the order of operations that this minus is the last thing I'm going to do. I have to put brackets around this difference because otherwise I would wait until the end to do it. So I don't want to do 3 times 76 and then take away 43. I want to do the difference of these two and then triple that. So that's why I have brackets here. You know what? If you want to put brackets, have a good time, but you don't need them because the order of operations tells us that we wouldn't do that until the proper time.